Right, hello everybody, and today I'm with Helen Dooley, owner of More Travel on St Mary Street in Stamford, experts in creating beautifully customised holiday experiences in the UK and internationally. Helen, we've got a lot to talk about today, but first, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Now, tell me first of all, before we get into the hot topic of deposits and non-refundable holidays and some advice that I want you to share today to everybody watching, just tell me a bit about you and your background and your business, because I believe you've been in the travel industry for quite some years.
Longer than I care to admit, absolutely. Yeah, I've been in travel for forever, ever since I left school. I left school meaning to join the Navy, went to work at Thomas Cook, and I've never left the travel industry. So yeah, it's totally in my blood. Love traveling myself. There's nothing I love more than planning our own holidays, and obviously I worked my way through the travel industry and through lots of sectors. I worked in cruise for a while. I was a director of a much bigger company for quite some time. And then about 10 years ago, I just had the epiphany while stuck in a traffic jam on the M25 that really I needed to change my life, and I needed to start to do something that I could feel a sense of ownership for and do something a little bit different, try and do travel a little bit differently. So that's kind of where we started. Rich jumped in with me, who's my husband and also my business partner. And then along the way, various other people have joined the team. So that's kind of where we're at and where we're still at. Well, until this happened.
Yeah, and until this point. And so we'll kind of move on to that. I mean, with all the travel restrictions in place and holidays being cancelled, the issue of non-refundable deposits, and my parents are also victims of that situation at the moment, and deferred bookings, it's causing a lot of stress and anger and indeed anxiety. What are your clients saying to you, Helen, right now?
I think I'd like to hope that the clients that have booked with us have all had quite a different experience. I think there are some elements of travel that we can't control, so where airlines have messed around with their policies and so on and so forth, but we've got all of our clients' backs and we know the right people to speak to, and on the whole, I think we've been successful in getting everyone the outcome that they want. So some people just want straightforward refunds. That's absolutely up to them. You know, we're all in different places. Some people are really happy just to move their bookings on to next year. Some people have been happy to take credit notes and thought, we'll think about where we want to go after all of this. So we've got outcomes, but on the whole, our clients are saying to us, thank God we booked with you guys, because we've been taking calls in the middle of the night. We've been repatriating people from different countries. And, you know, it's been a fair old shift, but I think we'll come out of it the other side with everyone saying, you know, you've got our business, you've done us proud. So what can I ask for?
Well, I think you've worked really hard on making it a really personal and bespoke service that people really appreciate, not only in all the fact finding and finding that dream holiday, but whilst they're away. I mean, certainly, you know, personally for me, you've helped find me, you know, a flight to America, you've found family holidays, and you've pushed my boundaries, I've got my requirements were something completely different, which became real lifetime memories for me and my family. So, you know, for that, we'll always be grateful to you and your advice and your knowledge there. But can you share with me right now then some top tips for people who are thinking about the next 12 months and how, you know, what you're doing for choosing their holiday?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's so difficult at the minute because we still don't know what's happening, you know, in the next weeks, months. It's all a little bit crystal ball-y. But I think one of the things that I would say is not to be, if you're in a position where you're thinking, I definitely do want to travel, don't be afraid of starting to research the holidays and book the holidays. A lot of holiday companies, ourselves included, can give you really flexible commitment terms now. So they recognise you're not going to pay the full rate for a holiday for next year. So they'll offer commitments like you can book now, but if you need to change it, you can. You know, no fee free changes, things sort of that. So there's lots of that out there in the travel industry at the moment. So if you're thinking about booking but feeling hesitant, I would say it's a good time to start exploring what your options are.
Okay, that's sensible advice.
And another, this sounds kind of like a negative, but I have a feeling that once this is all over and once we've truly passed through it and are out the other side, that you're going to start to see airlines trying to recoup some of the money that they've lost over the course of the last 12 months. And you might see prices start to hike up a little bit. Currently, they're all pretty good because they're, you know, in line with the current situation. But I have a feeling that they might start to nudge up over time.
Okay, so that might then impact again on the staycation idea.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly being apart from family members and missing them and things, I could imagine the holiday market being more, and I think it has started to perhaps happen, you'll tell me more, multi-generational. So, you know, grandparents and your parents and your grandchildren come along, or, you know, you have a holiday for a week and your parents, you know, might join you for that end of the period of time. And that creating memories is becoming, I think, so vital.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think multi-generational families had already become a thing, but you're quite right. I think they're more likely to, closer to home as well. So you put those two things together. One of the things that Rich and I have been busy contracting over the last couple of weeks and months is more of the French chateaus that you can take for full hire, Scottish castles where you can take the whole castle, and it might be 12 bedrooms. It might be £1,000 a night, but that's 12 bedrooms. You know, you can get a heck of a lot of people in there. So yeah, just looking at closer to home, everything from little gîtes in little communities to castles, Monarch of the Glen, French chateaus, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think you're right. That would be a trend, and we've been quite busy trying to contract and make sure that we've got the right product on board for that.
Yeah, so that's the one way you've adapted your business. You obviously, I guess, furloughed your staff members. It's just you and Richard now working, so it's all the deck there and working away. I mean, it's difficult to imagine, say, the future, isn't it? But
yeah,
if it's going to be more villa-based, let's say, and taking an entire cottage or something somewhere, are there enough out there? What do we need to be thinking about booking?
No, they are. You're correct. There's not loads of great product. Villas are also expected to have a massive boom. So even overseas villas, where people can be in control of their own environment. But again, you really need to be cautious when you're booking villas, because most of the advertising sites for villas are listed by the owners themselves. No owner ever types, I've not had this house rewired for the last 50 years and the swimming pool's practically derelict. So you have to be really, really careful. And we've got lots of great villa projects. It's all health and safety checked. It will all adhere to the new laws on deep cleaning after each visit. So just be really careful about villa and any kind of product which is marketed by the owner directly. You need to make sure you've read lots of reviews and you really know what you're doing if you're going to go down that path.
Yeah, I'd read something whereby I think somebody was airing some concern that in fact a lot of these villas and holidays haven't had bookings for quite some period of time, and the owners haven't got the money to invest in their property, like you say, the rewiring or perhaps safety gates or safety measures and things. So it's going to be a big concern. They've got the right holiday in the right place, and they're all the right safety measures are in place. So that's really key. That's great advice there that I suppose I've not really thought about. I guess finally, what other trends can you see perhaps might be happening? Is it going to be more community-based things? We've all experienced quite an upturn all of that. Do you see that having an impact in further along the line, I suppose, being it with interaction again? Anything happening?
Yeah, I think, again, it's crystal ball stuff. But we've been doing a bit of work with a lot of the product teams that we work with all around the world and looking at Google Analytics, what things people are looking for, what things people are searching. And it would seem, so some of the things we talked about, closer to home villas, they're set for big growth. But to sit alongside that, it's anything really where people can be more in control of their own environment. So things like fly drive, for example. So you might want to go touring, but you might not be inclined to be on a train or permanently in and out of airports. So it might be things that you choose to do within a car or a motorhome where you can have control of your own environment. Single centres, I think, will be bigger than they have before. Multi-centre holidays have become quite in vogue, you know, where you might go to Dubai and then over to the Maldives or something along those lines. But maybe people to opt in for more single centre holidays, where so minimising their timing in airports. I think the other thing that makes perfect sense for me, and something that I personally adore, so we're really well set up for, is safari. You know, it totally ties in with all of the travel trends that are already happening, you know, being a bit more mindful about where you travel. But you can be on a beautiful safari lodge, and they vary massively in price, from really quite reasonable to, you know, top dollar, where you just, your partner and your family, and the great outdoors. You couldn't be any closer to wildlife and nature and local communities. And most of the safari lodges that we work with have phenomenal green credentials. So, you know, absolutely everything is planet friendly. It's not just greenwashed with a bit of, you know, they really truly mean it when they say they're looking after their local environments and their local communities. So yeah, I think safari will be massive for next year, which is wonderful for us.
Yeah, I wish you all the very best for the future.
Thank you.
It's been a very challenging time with, you know, the Thomas Cook in the travel industry, and now all the restrictions in place. But, you know,
yeah,
your experience and your clients, you know, you're really well placed to share that support and that knowledge that you've got. So, you know, anybody, if you're thinking about looking for a holiday in 2021, you know, contact Helen.
Yeah, please do.
I can honestly say from personal experience, they're brilliant. You ended up saving us money. I was spending hours trying to find my holiday online. I gave up, you know, and gave it and came to find you, and you were brilliant. And not only in the lead up to our holiday, whilst we were away, and helping recommend, you know, things and restaurants to go to and all sorts of places, you were there and on hand to help us. So for that, we'll again be grateful to you for. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you for these lovely videos. Keep them coming.
It's fine. That's no problem. I'll put your details in this post. Everybody,
Thank you.
Helen, think about your holidays. Time with our loved ones is so special, and I know money's tight for everybody and a big concern, but you know, it all comes down to staying healthy with your families and your loved ones. So Helen, to you and your husband and your team, thank you very much, and stay healthy, and we'll catch up with you.
Thanks, Lottie.
You're welcome.
Bye.